Hello, everyone. Sorry, just got here, just got out of my last session. How are you today? Everything's good? Okay. If anybody has anything in the chat they want to say or say anything, just want to introduce myself to you. My name is Jonathan Gordon. I work for Bring Buffet, but I've been a teacher for almost 30 years. I'm going to my 30th year of teaching. That's crazy. I've taught everything from social studies to English to digital design, graphic arts, web design, so many different subjects, and I incorporate that in my graphics. And one thing I will tell you this about Adobe Express is that it's exciting. It puts together Photoshop, InDesign, Premiere, it just Audition. It puts all these together, and we've been seeing a lot of great new things with Adobe Express. It's amazing what you can do. And so I'm going to try to have you start thinking visually. Now, what does that mean? Thinking visibly. That means is when you create material for your students, or your students create material so you can assess them, think visually. How can it be done so they learn more, how they can retain more information? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to start, and I'm getting started with infographics over here. So I'm going to share. I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy a link. Hopefully this works. And I'm going to put this as a link of my deck, my slide deck. Hopefully that works for a slide deck, that you can have that. And then I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully you can see it right here. And I'm going to do the slideshow right here. So if you have questions, please let me know. I'm going to have my chat available over here on my other screen so I can see that. So at any time, if I'm talking too fast, I get excited. So if I talk too fast, let me know. But again, like I said, I'm Jonathan Gordon. I'm in upstate New York. I'm on the other coast from you. So, but I love doing this, and I love talking about Adobe Express. You don't have something, but I don't have my email. So you don't have access to the slides. So the links didn't go. Let me try it again. Hold on one second. I might have to do something else to make sure that I get. Let's do this. Let me stop share for a second, and let me share. Let me try it again. I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to try it one more time. It might be my fault. Try it now if you can. Tell me if that worked. If that worked. One of the first things we need to do, if you haven't signed in today, you need to sign in. But if you already did, you don't have to sign in again. But in actuality, I need to make sure, how many people do we have? I need to make sure that I get everybody who's in this. If you can just put your name in the chat, and just so I have a number of people who are here for attendance, because they have a different attendance for us. Let me see if, let me try something else also. Let me try this. Let me do this. I'm going to try to get something else, because I'm doing this with Brain Buffet, and I'm doing this with Adobe, and so I just need to get this here. Okay, now I'm just going to do it that way. All right, sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure if you just put your name in there, if I can get just a head count on it, that would be great. If you can just put it in there. So let me see if I can view gallery. Let's see how many we have in here. How many do we have in here? We have quite a bit. Awesome. All right, I'm going to get started right away. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, Leonard. How are you? I'm going to unmute you.
Sorry, Jonathan, real quick. I'm confused. You want us to put our names somewhere?
Just in the chat, just so I just want to make sure that I have everybody in here.
You want us to write our names in the chat? Okay.
Yes, just so I have it. Okay, did I unmute you? I thought I unmute. I thought I unmuted you. Did I get you?
Good afternoon. Yes.
Hi there. I just wanted to make sure I unmuted you. Got you there. So thank you very much for being here. So if you can do me a favor, if you can just check just the number of people that are on there, that would be very helpful to me afterwards. But then I want to move on. So I hope you're excited today for Adobe Express and how we're going to think visibly with Adobe Express. And so like if you already did the attendance, that is great. And then what you also have here in the slide deck, does everybody have access to the slide deck now? I saw some people opened it up. I think you have it. These are different links that you have. And if Leonard, if they want to put those links in the chat that they can go to, this is how you get paid for it. You might have gotten it if you were already in another session. So I just want to make sure that you have access to this, and it should be in the slide decks right there, and that you can have access to that. This is all the office stuff. And then over here, this is actually on one of your websites, in the San Francisco Unified School District website, that I liked, that I wanted to show you here, this bit.ly and this QR code. It talks about how you can get through Adobe Express through Clever. And it also tells us, and we'll talk more about later, about how Adobe Education Exchange gives you an opportunity for lesson plans, videos, resources, that you can get some exciting stuff done. They have monthly challenges that we'll try to get to and show you how you can win prizes and like for projects that you create for your classrooms, and you can find lesson plans and these lightning learning courses that are listed there. You can learn other things that we don't get to today. Maybe it's digital portfolios. Maybe it's videos that you want to do. So it's those type of things that you can do on your own, and that you can get badged for and learn a lot of new information. Okay, you can sign up for the newsletter, but I just want to make sure this is on your school district's website. So I wanted to put in there. I liked it very much. Then we have, let's go over our session. What are our goal? Our goal is for you to understand how students need to think visually. We can see that if things have visuals with them, writing has visuals with them, students are more like 80% more willing to read it if it has visuals with it. And visuals get them excited. How many people, I know this, I loved reading growing up, loved reading, but I always went through, are there pictures in the book? How many people went looking to see if there are pictures in the book? I did. I went looking for the book. Even when I start reading chapter books and so forth, I go, oh, at least there's a picture on that first page of that chapter or something like that. I always look for that. Students today love graphic novels. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at some projects today to help you, get you to feel how we can think visually, how you can do different things visually to get your point across, to assess your students in a different fashion than maybe just writing everything out. Now, I've done digital design, I've taught web design, but I'm also an English and social studies teacher. So I incorporate this in a lot of my classrooms that I've done this, where students do projects, I do projects, and to get them more interested in the topic. So we're going to have over here, we're going to try to understand different benefits of visually enhancing assignments and so forth, and it'll help you jump into it. It'll help you get a better understanding. Your students get a better understanding. So one of the first things that we want to do is you have a lesson. Let's think you have a lesson, whatever it's in science, social studies, English, health, whatever it is, and you presented this. Okay, you had the students explore a topic. So after that lesson, you want to know, what did they get out of that lesson? Even if they can break it down to just a headline to that lesson, what could it possibly be? So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about Adobe InDesign. Some people are brand new to this. Some people might be familiar with it. And we're going to talk about creating a project that might pair a headline for, say, a lesson that you just did with images. So you get a quick understanding whether they understand it. So I come over here, say you did the 3 Little Pigs. We're going to look at Adobe Express. I might throw InDesign in here because I also do InDesign. I'm sorry if I do that. But here are 3 Little Pigs. And here you create like a meme of sorts, a little visual aspect of pigs, 2, 3, homeless wolf, out of breath. You see that? I'm a wolf, how a huff and a puff ruin the community. Pigs without permits, wolf protects community for unlawful construction. So you know that they did 3 Little Pigs. And so what they're getting at, a little headline, little blurb. Yes.
Sorry, I don't think you're sharing your screen. We haven't seen anything for the past like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Well, that's silly on my part. I apologize. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I can't. Well, I believe I did that, but so now you can see that, right? Can you see it now or no?
Yep.
Yeah, we
Got it.
can see. Also, the slides. I've been watching the slides at all times.
Okay. So that slides that was sent. That's my fault. So, but here we're going to talk about how we can visibly expand learning. And so this assignment was at the end of an assessment or an assignment, what do you want to get across? What are the main things? You're trying to get the student to understand the main things. And that's what we're going to play with. And so here we have an example of 3 pigs. Here's an example of the quadratic equation of something visual. That's kind of cool. Look at that. That's a nice looking poster that you can possibly put in your classroom. Or it could be something that a student created to show that they understand what that topic is, what the quadratic equation is. And so what we're going to do is we're going to quickly look at, we're going to make one of these things. We're going to make it really quick. I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to go to Adobe Express. So I want you, if you haven't already done so, I want you to go to Adobe Express. And if you went through Clever, what you're going to see is you're going to have it opened up. This is the interface that you're going to see when you first open up Adobe Express. And you see it's mind-boggling in how much they have added to this, and they're going to add more to this. You're going to see a lot of changes coming up. You can see posters, videos, web pages, infographics, presentations. They have a whole section just focusing on education, social media, and they changes these things up. So we're going to create a couple things. We can do something quick, and I want you to try to follow along and maybe create something your own and maybe even willing to share. So you have all of these different choices, and I'm going to start quickly, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a square. I just picked a square, and that's where it is. So you can click here as an Instagram square post, but I can make it where it's a square that you are going to create, and you have all of these different templates. I'm just going to show you first about the templates because you may not be familiar. I'm going to do this quickly because we need to focus on the visually, but this is an infographic here. And here's an image here that has all of these different layers. We're not going to create this here today, but I wanted to show you that they have layers and the images. This is a good first day thing, by the way. If you look on these templates here, this is a good first day getting to know you for each one of your students. Who is Adrian? Who is so-and-so? So I'm throwing this little extra bit in here for you. But I wanted to show you how you can change this text. You can change this up and change it over here. You can change it to whatever fonts you want. You can change images over here. If you want to change the icon, you can change them out. You can duplicate it. This icon here, if you want to create it, get a new icon, you can come over under elements, find a new icon and find other objects, search them. The cool thing, and I want to show you right now, is that also the theme. If you don't like this color theme and you want to change it up, I like purple. Purple's like my favorite color theme. So I can change this up and I just change it instantly. And it goes through these classic colors. If you want another one, a different color change, and it changes up. You might have to change some of the text because it may not work perfectly, but you can change that up. I'm going to go back to purple. And I just want to show you a couple things quickly, because how many people are new again? Remind me in the chat. How many people have not really done much with this? Here's my chat. How many people? Let me go here. New. See, these are all brand new. And that's why I wanted to stop for a second before I jumped into it. I just wanted to show you what's available. And this here is kind of cool. Like if you go to Instagram posts, you can find this and you can change the colors. You can click on this. You can move stuff around. These are all grouped together. This stuff here, you can move this around. And this is dynamic text. See over here, text layout, dynamic. If I took it off, it changes it up. The dynamic allows you to squish everything together and align things up. And so it's like, some are going to be bigger text, some little text. You can add different elements here and here, shapes. You can have the different lines, like I have lines here. You can search those up. So I wanted to at least get that knowledge to you. And you know what's one of my favorite things here? Say I had this picture of this person here. This background was cut out. I can restore the image. Let me show you. That's what the image looks like. It has remove background. And you can change that background. I can come over here and it says replace image. So maybe you have another student. You have, let's just put down student. I'm searching for a picture here, student. And I have this guy here. It's popping in, it's different student. And I'm going to take out the background's already done because that effect was already placed on that image. And you're able to put that right in there. So again, I'm going to show you one more time, another time. I'm going to add another picture just to show you the media. I can grab, you can upload photos from there and you can search photos. And if I just pick, I'm just going to pick this picture here and I can remove the back. You can leave it like that. Or if you click on the picture, I can remove the background. And that's just some cool things. And you can just add over here, some neat things to do. All right. So you've done some with the elementary students in the library. That's good. That's nice. And then when you create, your students, I'm going to delete that. Say your students finished up. They did all of this. And now you want them to save it. Maybe you want to add it to your learning management system. Maybe it's Schoology or Canvas. I'm not sure which ones that you use, but you want to download it. You can download it here and you can file format and you can save stuff there. And you can also share, students can share with one another or share with you, and you can invite collaborators and you can share real time. And they can work on it at the same time. Okay. So I'm just throwing you a couple of things in there for the newbies out there. I get it, because some of this stuff is brand new and you're not expected to know everything. But I wanted to show you a couple of things in here that you can play around, change the color. I can change this if I just want to change the color of this text here. I can change that color here to just a bright color if I want just that one thing changed. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to create something. I want you to play just a little bit, and then we're going to move on. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm just going to create something new. I'm going to do plus sign over here, and I'm going to create a square. If you want to do a bigger one, you can. I'm going to do square and say, anybody here in science? Anybody here in science? Okay, science. Okay, so what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to find a picture. I'm going to find a picture here. And so I'm learning about photosynthesis. Maybe you were learning about photosynthesis in the class. So what I'm going to do is this, I'm going to find an image here, going to media, and I'm going to type in photosynthesis and see what have a picture. I can spell it. Photosynthesis. Oh, they didn't find, I spelled it wrong. That's why. I still spelled it wrong. Photosynthesis, and I can find an image, something that I like here. I'm just going to change it. I'm going to just say plant. There we go. I wanted something like this. I can create a plant. I can make that bigger. And I can bring that down here. And I want to put text in here. And I'm going to put text, and I want a simple thing right now. I'm going to add text. And maybe at the end of a lesson, you see that it's difficult. You kids want to talk about that it's difficult for photosynthesis and how it's difficult for the plants to live. It takes a lot of, make sure that they have water, make sure they have sunlight. And so maybe they want to say it isn't easy being green. It isn't easy being green. So I'm going to take that text, I'm going to make it dynamic, and I can change the line spacing here. I can change the font, and oh, that's fun. And I can change this here to a custom green. So I just put green here. And so at the end of a lesson, a student can create something, a saying or something that they get from it, that it's not easy for a plant to live and stuff that they can come up with. What I want you to do right now, it'll take about 4 or 5 minutes. I want you to create that, something with your subject, something really quick. I'll give you a couple minutes. When you're done, if you want to share, you let me know. I'm going to share it right there for everybody to see. Great stuff that you can do. If there's questions, let me know. If you don't know where to start, let me know. I'm going to create another one. Let's do Okay, so I've just created another one here. Put it here. Just learn about World War I and talk about the causes of World War I. You don't have Adobe Express, you should be able to get on through Clever to get Adobe Express, or if you type in Express, there you go, right there. Thank you, Leonard. You can get it right through there to get Adobe Express. I just did a quick one here about World War I. It's like, just what did they learn? They learned the causes of World War I. It's a simple little thing. Does anybody have anyone that they created they want to share? I can unshare and then they can share. No one yet? Okay, it's okay if you don't want to share, that's fine. But if you find one, you're still working. Okay, I'll give you about 2 more minutes and then we'll move on. Give you 2 more minutes because we gotta, but I like you to play. Always play. Yeah, new express.adobe. Okay. I'm going to give you another minute. And if any time you want to stop me, you're going and you want to show and share, stop me. I want to see it. I want to see it. That's the only way you're going to learn is to play. I tell my students that all the time. Okay, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to go back over here. Go to the slideshow. So over here is the idea of a book cover. And here's another project that you can work on. I'm creating a book cover. And I want to look a little bit at some templates and play around with templates that you can play with to look at. You're reading a book, and whether it's in science, whether it's in English, or it's a topic that you want to do, whether it's photosynthesis, whether it is World War II or something like that, and you want to create a book cover related to that topic or a magazine cover. Here I just have an example to create your own book cover. And you can get done whatever you can get done. I just wanted to show you some examples. So if I did create a book cover, escape here, and I'm going to show you where you can get access to it. If you go back to Adobe, you go over here, you're going to create something new. You can type in here, book cover. And you have view all of these book covers. And you can change this up to what you want. Maybe you're doing something about oceanography. Maybe you like this one here. This one's a simple layout. If you look, this shark is cut out. Look at that. I can move him wherever I want. He's swimming. He's swimming. So maybe you want to change this up. You kind of like the look. You like the shark, but you don't like the background on that. So maybe you want to change the background. You can replace page background. So I can click on here and I can get another image if I want. I can just go here. I can delete that. And I can go media and I want ocean. And I like this a little bit more fish. There's like more fish in here. Like this here, make this bigger. Drag that to make it bigger. And here, kind of like that here placement, make it bigger. And there's my shark. My shark is underneath. So I need to put my shark on top. So I want to bring my shark over here. I can even rotate the shark. I can turn that over here. You have a rotator. So you can rotate the shark. You can make the shark bigger. Ooh, disappeared. Why is that disappeared? I'm going to undo. I'm going to undo that. You have an undo button up here. And that will do that. And my other text is underneath, so I'm going to put that here. You can change the name. Maybe you put your name in there. I'm going to change that to Jonathan Gordon. That's my name. And I can change the font. I want to change the font here. Something else here. Let's see, what do I want? This one here, I can make it bigger. And again, I just want you to play. Think of the top, think of a book that if you're an English teacher, if you're a science teacher, think of a subject that students can do as an assignment. What are the main ideas that took place? So if you're talking about genetics and you want them to talk about genes, maybe there's some images of even a pair of jeans and something that's funny like that. If you're doing figurative language, even in like 4th grade, maybe it's images of as big as a whale. That's the title of your thing, and that's the name of your book, and you have a picture of a whale, and that's the starting up of your figurative language that they give you an example of a simile. And so you can get students to design projects to show their assessment of what they're thinking about, what's their main idea. If you're doing themes of books, is it about love? Is it about hate? Is it about revenge? Is it conflict? Social studies, again, causes, effects, those types of things. Mathematics, whether it has to do with things that are being congruent to one another, or if you're doing parabolas or a simple addition that you're trying to solve, or simple using division, or you're using graphs, you're using pie graphs, and maybe something like that that you can create here. And you can use all of, I go back, those templates for book covers. I go back to book cover. And you have all of these to choose from. So I want you to play a little bit with Adobe Express. Pick a topic that you can use for your classroom. Okay, something that you can use, and play around with the stuff that you have here. Changing the text, selecting the text. You can change the color of the text. If you want it pink, like a peachy color, you want to change that up. Change that up. Add over here elements. So maybe you want to have a fish that's just an icon. Oh, no, shapes, design asset fish. Yeah, so maybe you want here, sitting it up right by your name, right above there. Play around with adding some elements in here. So right now you're making something that's visual. That's going to make it stand out. You don't want to put too much in there, make it a little bit too crazy, but think about the main point of an assignment, of a topic or a unit, and what could students create to show that they understand that unit. I'm going to show you 2 things that I created I have some units that are coming up this upcoming year. I'm teaching English, and I'm going to show you some things that I created. So these are 2 book covers that I created for some projects that we're going to be doing for different books. So I gave the theme. I actually didn't put the name of the book. I put the theme of the book, the main ideas of the book. The first one is of A Raisin in the Sun. I put the title on the bottom, and I put Exploring Dreams and Identity as the idea of Raisin in the Sun. And so my students know that's what we're going to be learning about when we're reading. We're going to read and learn about the American dream and so forth. Just to let you know, the artificial intelligence, the generative AI that's coming with Adobe Express, will eventually be here, was created here. I used that to create a scene from A Raisin in the Sun. We had to play around with the props. It's pretty amazing. It's the same thing with the other book here. The theme that my students are going to get with this unit is called Resilience and Redemption. But students can do that after the fact as well. They can create this project. I'm creating this project ahead of time for them. And all of these images were created in generative AI. It's not there in the education version yet. Hopefully a couple of weeks or so, it might be in there. I'm not sure. But these images were created and I was able to put these together. And those were, it's a study of the book thief, Unbroken, Life is Pi, and the Kite Runner. And I'm going to have a lit circle. Some kids are going to be reading this, and another group will be reading another book, and so forth. And so what I want you to do, it doesn't have to be a book. It could be a movie. If you want to show a movie, if you are a subject that you're doing, whether it's in elementary, middle, or high school, I want you to create something. Okay. While you're creating, again, I'm all about the play time. I want you to play. I want you to learn. That's the only way you're going to remember this stuff. You can just remember that guy that was rambling on, but you are to play with it. Does anybody get any of the other assignment done that wants to share? Like you had more time. No one. Okay. I'm going to give you some time right now to play. I want you to play. I want you to learn it. Ask me questions. If you go, I don't know how to do this, that's okay. Ask me. I'll try to help you with you right now. The whole point of this is that you're learning the program and how you can use it in the classroom. How students can use it in the classroom. Sometimes they'll learn it quicker than you. Trust me, all the time they'll figure out stuff that I had no idea. Leonard, did you get the number of people that were in the room? Thank you. Well, if you only have access to the older version, you can do a lot of these things as well. Lisa, are you working with the older version? Yeah, there's the older version, then we have the beta version. You can try the beta version on that. There's a lot more added to the beta version, and the interface is a little bit different. But the stuff that we've been doing, if you do search for book covers, you should be able to do it in the older version as well. I'm using the beta education version in my demonstration right now. With the beta education version, there's some things that are missing. The generative AI, the stuff that allows you to do artificial intelligence, images, text, from so forth, are not available in the education version. Not yet. I have no idea when that's going to be added. But again, people want to look, you just can search up here, book covers, or pick a different topic if you want. If you don't want to do book covers, pick something else, something that's going to be for your classroom, that you're going to be able to use the visual aspect for them thinking of what they learned. So how you can assess them. I mean, they have two different versions of Lost here that you can use. Something to do with the umbrella, or change up the images. You like the color scheme that's here, right? The magic umbrella. You can change this up. If I don't like the pink aspect, I can change my theme on here. So maybe I want this, change that up. Or, ooh, I like the purple and the yellow there. I like that. See, this is from this person wrote that create a writing assignment number 5. So maybe this is a cover of their creative writing story. Maybe you had them writing a short story and they have to create a cover related to their short story. Anybody else? Any examples yet to share? Okay. Come on. I want to see the work. That's the joy I get is when I see that. We had some people in the last workshop showing some of their stuff that was really good. Just for simple. Just play around. Can change this instead of the magic umbrella. He's running slow. Okay. I'm going to change the image here. I'm going to put an ice cream cone. I got this ice cream cone here. And it's going to take the background away. Should anyway, there we go. And I can stretch this bigger. And the magic ice cream cone. Change the font. There. You can resize the screen as well. Say you want this as you want this a little bit bigger. You can resize it. If I change this to inches, over here, you can see the size, inches. It's 2x4. It's not that big. So maybe I want to change this to be 4x6. And I resize it. And it just changed it and makes it a little bit bigger. So that's, I know that's what I'm going to be able to be print, or if I want to print it on, I want to say resize, and I want it 8.5 by 11. I want to print it on a regular sheet of paper, resize it, and there I have it. I can resize it. I know that's going to be able to be print on a letter size paper, And then you can add some other images in there. You can add the ice cream cone. You can put other text, logos in here. Like here's like rise and grind. You can change this up, the look of it, the color of it. You can change these. This is grouped together. You see that dotted line over here? That means that that's grouped. So you can click on that and you can ungroup it. So now you should be able to grab stuff and move stuff around individually and work on it. You can change this color and click it here. Instead of blue, I can make that white. Change that to white. I'm just giving you some ideas that you can play around with the logos. All right. You can change that up. All right. Anybody else has anything to show? Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Okay, I wanted to show you some things I want you to play, but I'm going to go on to the next. Where was I? Over here. I'm going to show you a couple things. So like I said, you can create a project here. And here's another idea. I want to show you some video work. So after, say, the students did some research and they gathered up some researches and they don't want to present it to class. They may be a little nervous about presenting something to class or presenting their story to class. They're a little nervous about it. So I want to show you that how you can create something that they can learn with it by presenting with a cartoon character. Let me show you. So we can have like a topic, say whether it's photosynthesis, whether it's a short story or something like that. We're going to use Animate with audio. You can use something that's called the Pixar story stem. And once upon a time, there was a giant elephant. Every day he ate peanut butter sandwiches until one day he did this because of that. And what I was going to do is I was going to do an activity with you, but again, I'm not sure how much you want to do, but you have this at your disposal in the slideshow. But here's an example, the green pig. Once upon a time, there was a little green pig. Every day he worked for WWF, creating sustainable habitats from localized sources. And you can read through where students can have fun telling a little story. You can use it where it's telling a story, or you can use what I'm about to show you where they're just giving a report on their own, what they learned. Here's another example. Here's a video. I'm going to show you.
Once upon a time, there was a little green pig. Every day, he worked for WWF, creating sustainable habitats from localized sources. Until one day, he built his dream home, made with local straw.
And so your students can do that. You can do that, where they learn the information, and maybe they don't want to stand up in front of class, but they are able to record themselves going over that information. I want to show you how to do that. And go back to Adobe Express. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to come up to where it says Animate from Audio. This is a quick action. You can get it right there. Animate from Audio. And you probably can find it in here, Animate from Audio, if you go down. I'm just going to pick Animate from Audio. And you can choose from all of these different characters. Okay. I chose this originally, this one here. I can choose another character that you like. I like this robot. I can pick the robot. Now, is everybody at where I'm at with Animate with Audio? I can change the background. I can look to see the different backgrounds that they have here. This is like a space station. Oh, yeah, it's some sort of space station. And, or maybe you want the robot is in, let's see. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Let's just say summer season. You're talking about seasons in your classroom, in the elementary classroom, talking about fall, summer, spring, and so forth. And you can have students who did research about the seasons, and they need to tell you what they had to do. So they write a little script like that Pixar STEM, or they just write a little script that they have, and they can record right from here from Adobe Express. It's all in one over here. And so I can record. I did my report on the seasons. You can learn about the fall, spring, winter, and summer. And I just did a quick little thing. They can do a little bit longer, and it's creating this little audio with the character, and it's going to lip sync my voice with the character. And so if there's something that you want to come up with, you do so yourself. I want to show this in a second. It'll be ready in a second. It's exporting. But this is a great way. I know my wife uses something like this in her second grade class, where she had students have a character and they can record, and the kids are excited that you record their information and they can see the character talking. So if I play it, I did my report on the seasons. You can learn about the fall, spring, winter, and summer. And so you can change your background. You can change the character. If I open it back in editor, in the editor, I can move the character around a little bit in here. Oop. So letting me move them around. Oh, okay. I'm having a little slow here. Okay, so I'm having a little slow here. So coming through. So I want to make sure that everybody's be able to get to Animate in Audio. Any questions about Animate in Audio? So something wrong. Okay, so there is something that's going wrong. I will repeat the steps. Watch this. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come back to the very beginning. I'm going to leave this now. So I'm going to come back over here to Animate from Audio. So I animate from audio, and I'm going to change my character. I'm going to change it to this guy right here. Almost like I can move him around. If I want it here, I want him in the center if I want. I want to change my background. It's going to be on the baseball field. And I can change the size if I want. If I want it just portrait right here. I'm talking right there. And then with that all set up, it's going to be sites for Instagram and all YouTube and all this stuff. And I can record. I love baseball. It's one of my favorite sports. I love going to various baseball games with my father. I can say done. And then it's recording it. And it's going to lip sync that material, what I'm recording, to that material. And then you'll be able to preview it. Was that helpful, Lisa? So if anybody else wants to get that done, do something right now. Come up with something, record just a little blurb. Maybe introduce yourself to me. You can do an intro. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm at this school. Just something I can see. How they can share with others? Yes, I can show you that. So this one, I'm just going to record here. I love baseball. It's one of my favorite sports. I love going to various baseball games with my father. And so you can download it here. And I can download it as a MP4 recording. When I go back here for Animate with audio, I'm looking, let's see, it doesn't let me, I can copy the links, but it's not where it's sharing in here, in this one. But if you're sharing with another item, if you were sharing, say, with just a flyer, I can share up here. We're working in file, let me see, template, and I'm just going to create this, leave. Just from a template here, I can share, we're working on your file. They're having some issues right now, but I can download where they're working. So that's running a little slow. Can you create your own characters? You can. There's another software program that allows you to create characters. It's called Adobe Character. And you can create what they call them puppets that you can use in there that you'll be able to bring in here, but they're constantly adding new characters that you can use. But right now, you saw there's a lot of them there that you can use. But Adobe Character, if you have access to the Creative Cloud, you can create other puppets that you can use for this. Let me see if share works. It's still working on downloading. They're having some issues with this. But you can share in here and collaborate with others. Okay, let's share. Let's see if now it's still not working. It's still working on this. So I'm sorry about it. I'm trying to refresh it maybe. Yeah, I can share here. I can invite collaborators. And you can put the people in here who you want, the names that you want to share, and you can share at the same time. You can give only people access to it. And people can do it real time, where they can put in comments in there on the item. I can put comments here. Looking good. So if someone else was looking at it, and I can submit it, and there's going to be a comment right there. Looking good. And you're going to put a comment on it, and they can go back and forth. You can look at theirs. If they share it with you, you can put comments on theirs, but make suggestions, but they can work on it at the same time. Anybody else? We're running out of time. I wish we had more time. Again, Adobe Express has so much that you can go over, but hopefully you learned about making thinking visible by thinking about how you can use what you're using in your classroom, about the lessons, whether it's math, science, whether it's elementary, middle school, or high school, and how you can have students thinking visibly what they know and how they can share that information with you. Are there any questions? Is it linked with Seesaw? No, it's not. You can probably make a video and put it into Seesaw, that type of thing, but they're not linked together. Anybody else? Does anybody want to show anything? There are links to, you can get Adobe Express. You can do it apps on your phone. Right now, the beta version doesn't work on your phone. On the iOS, it does not work. So that's hopefully coming. But you can do a lot of that stuff. I did a lot of work on the Adobe Express on the old version on my phone. Doing stuff I had at my son's baseball game, took some pictures, and then right there and then I took pictures and I made baseball cards right on my phone during his game. Anyway, if there's something that someone wants to share, I'm more than willing to look at it. I love that, but we have to go through some other things to finish up to make sure that we get through everything. And I'm going to go on here. I'm going to show you, go through some things. I didn't get to everything. Let's go here. I suggest making your own poster. What you've learned, reflect on what you learned today. Play. That's what I can say to do. So I have a survey. I got to change the color here. The bit.ly change color. I need to change that. I have changed this. All right. Is it? I'm gonna change this to white. Okay. So I have two different surveys that need to be done. If Leonard, if you can put that in the chat. I have this one survey from Adobe that I need to be done. And then I'm going to have another one for Digital Day that needs to be done. Unfortunately, we have to do 2 surveys, but we need to get that done here. Were you able to get that? Oh, here's the other one. This is in the slide deck, so I'll put it in here. Oh, thank you, Leonard. And then we have the other one here. We have this other making things visible with Adobe Express. This is for Digital Day. We need this one done as well. That one is in the chat. And as you are doing those surveys, I just want to make sure to let you know you can get badged for this this lesson, for this workshop. So you can get a badge. I went through this course, and you can get a badge that you can put into your signature. You got badged on this. And if you click on this link here, if you go over there, you're going to enroll in there. If I click on here, and you're going to enroll yourself in there, and you're going to answer a handful of questions, and then they'll be able to get badged for visible thinking routines with Adobe Express, this making thinking visually with Adobe Express. So you can get a badge. That's kind of cool. But besides this, as you notice, it's called Adobe Education Exchange. I briefly mentioned it at the very beginning of the course. And I want to show you that I want you to follow Adobe with Adobe Express. Go to hashtag Adobe Edu Creative, and you can find all these events and activities. There's creative challenges that you can go through. You can go to Adobe Exchange through here, and you can see all these free teaching resources: math, English, careers, art, design, science, and engineering, social studies. And you have all of these courses that you can take. And they also have these challenges where you can actually win prizes. You actually have to show your work, though. You have to actually submit your work, and then they can look at it, and you can possibly win some prizes. No one showed me any work. I want to see some stuff. If you're willing to do that on your own, if you want to send it to me, I'll take a peek at it on my own. I'm okay with that. So I definitely suggest you take your time, find all of these lesson plans, and take advantage of all that's available for you. Go to the hashtag Adobe Edu Creative. Are there any questions? I hope you learned something. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you use this. I I'm on Adobe Express every day. I was like last year, I was constantly, and I taught for students who had difficulty with their computers or learning Photoshop or InDesign. I had them on here and they were just boom, boom, eating it up. I appreciate you all. I use your time. Yeah, I'm still a teacher. Yeah, I'm still doing that. I love it. I love teaching this. I love when the students get the aha moment and create incredible work. I love it. If you have any questions, if you want to email me for anything, I'm just at Jonathan. I'll put it in here. Jonathan at brainbuffet.com. If you have questions. Okay, they have to get to everyone. Jonathan at brainbuffet.com. You don't have to capitalize the J, but it's just Jonathan at brainbuffet.com. If you have any questions, or you have a quick little question about something going over, if you want to share, please do. Anything else? Make sure you do those surveys. Get that done. That's awesome. Oh, we got something. We got something. What's this? Ooh, I like that's a nice poster. That's fun. Break that up. It's cool. Noun as a person, place, thing, or idea. I just let you know there are flashcards even Adobe Express as well that you can use. But that looks great. That's fun. They can give an example. You can make the posters. Put all the posters up in your room. That's what I do. Get my school prints it for me. Anybody else have anything? All right. Please email me. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I hope you enjoyed the session. Do research. Do look at the resources at Adobe Exchange, Education Exchange. Look at all the videos. Get yourself badged. All right. Well, I think that's the time we have for today. Went quick. Always does. Okay. If you have any questions, I'll stay here for a little bit, but if you're free to go. Thank you, Leonard. And thank you, interpreters. You can buy. I'll stay here for a little bit if anybody wants to be here, but I'm good. Well, I guess that's it. Nobody seems to have it. Thank you. Enjoy. Well, Leonard, I think that's it. Everyone have a wonderful day.